Yep. Welcome back. S&S Pigskin Picks. Here with Jeremiah Sheen. I am Pratty Sandhu, and we are doing a Monday Night Football recap. Chiefs 23, Saints 13. What are your thoughts there, Jer?
Oh, man, Kansas City scored on almost all of their drives, and this game should have been like 40-something to not enough, and they pulled out a closer loss, made themselves look not as bad. That's about all they really it was actually 26-13, but thank you. I wish 22-13. I wish then I would have cashed my full parlay. Just cashed partial of it. I did push, so it's not the end of the world. But
right.
Taking these big spreads, you do fall victim to that sometimes. But I'm going to keep taking these huge spreads because they are working most of the time.
Right. I mean, I know a lot of people were on the Saints plus the 5.5, and it did close at +5. And with all the Chiefs injuries, you would think it's a good play, but man, these Chiefs, they always find a way. And they keep it pretty simple if you think about it. They're just, and they just do it really well. And these little trick plays and whatnot. But they're 5-0 and looking pretty good there. I mean, they're not blowing out teams, but their red zone isn't what it used to be. But I mean, they're without Pacheco and without Rashee Rice. I mean, it's pretty good.
All these guys are, getting their legs back under them. Kareem Hunt and Juju Smith-Schuster with a big chunk play tonight, and
you had a couple, yeah.
So, they'll be fine
doing his thing. So yeah, I mean, Andy Reid schemes it up. The man knows what he's doing in the kitchen, and he knows what he's doing in the playbook. So, we know that from our Eagles years in the 90s and early 2000s. But, Saints, all that talk about the Kubiak kid, being the whiz kid, and whatever happened to all that jive? I don't hear anything about this kid.
Now Derek Carr is hurt. So
yeah, looks like it.
Oh, man, what happened? Carolina's Carolina, but that Dallas defense, they're pretty good. Like to put up that many points on that Dallas defense, like that was something else. I don't know if they can recapture that sometime this year, maybe when they sneak into the playoffs. But the mighty NFC South is really lacking now.
Well, my guess is some of the league has caught on to what this Kubiak kid was doing on offense because, he's going deep a lot. He's throwing a lot of motion. He was leading the NFL in motion. And the teams realize, Derek Carr he's known for dinking and dunking. But this year he's been going deep a lot to Shaheed and whatnot. And I think, the league's found out either these guys are going for broke or they're just going for a couple of yards. So let's see. They got the Buccaneers at home next week. That'll be a big challenge. I believe the Buccaneers are 4-1.
I already got the Buccaneers plus 9.5 on a teaser.
You grab those points quickly, and I don't blame you. Yeah. So the Saints will be home for that one. The Chiefs. I'm not exactly sure who they play next week, but yeah, they've been doing their thing and very impressive. I think they doubled them in yards.
Are they on a bye next week?
30. What's that?
Are the Chiefs on a bye next week?
I'm not 100% sure. I have to double check that one.
I don't think I've seen the one. Maybe I wasn't looking hard enough.
I'm not 100%, but I will check it right now. Sorry. Next week, the Kansas City Chiefs are, I think they're on a bye.
Okay.
Yep, they're on a bye.
Rested up.
Yeah, they're going to be
along with the other 5-0 team, Minnesota, on the bye on the same week.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Fishy. Man,
Mm-hmm.
the script writers, man, they got to get more original. Is it
It's
already
the NFL, man. This NFL is
the Super Bowl? Premonitions?
I mean, who knows, man? That's Kansas City. They want that three-peat, and they just keep finding these guys off the street. I mean, Juju Smith-Schuster, this guy was cut by the Patriots. They signed Kareem Hunt. Like, this guy was like on his couch, a few weeks ago, trying out for teams. They all just, I mean, they've been on the team before, which helps, but
yeah,
they double the team in yardage. The Saints offense, it's not exactly clicking. And yeah, they got a tough matchup next week. And I'm sure the line will be dropping after this performance, and Derek Carr being hurt does not help things. So yeah, man, that was a pretty one-sided affair. I mean, the score says 26-13. But I mean,
but it was a beating.
yeah. I mean, the Saints had a couple of big plays, that big touchdown to Shaheed, and obviously that huge interception. Without that interception at the goal line, this could have been like a 40 to.
I jumped off the couch. I'm like, come on, garbage time. But there wasn't even any garbage time.
Yeah.
Oh,
no doubt. I mean, that was a huge difference. Yeah, that was the Kansas City Chiefs moving to 5-0. Saints 2-3, 3 straight losses for the Saints. Looking back after week 2, we've had the Saints with 3 straight losses. After week 3, I believe the Seahawks have 2 straight losses. I believe after week 3, the Steelers have 2 straight losses, and the Bills as well after being 3-0. So all these 3-0 teams, some of them have come crashing down to earth, but Minnesota and Kansas City, they just, both sides step up. So props.
And there's some other teams that were, almost dead to rights, and Baltimore was looking pretty grim there, losing to Las Vegas, and now they've won 3 in a row.
Yeah. Really gritty action by Baltimore, but I mean,
the parody is rearing its ugly head. But,
the NFL loves this.
A couple more weeks, and these weak ducklings will be rearing their heads, and then I'll be pouncing.
Well, I mean, it's not for long in the NFL because people, they catch on, right? Like, remember about 6-7 years ago when the Steelers were 11-0 and they were just scraping by teams, and their defense looked amazing. People are like, oh, they're going to go undefeated and they're going to win the Super Bowl, and none of it came true. They lost their last 3 games and lost in the first round of playoffs. It was, sometimes the wheels fall off. You know what I mean? But definitely you want momentum going into the playoffs. You don't want to burst your cherry in the first 5-6 weeks and then, limp into the playoffs. And obviously playoffs are all about matchups, but it's kind of crazy. 2 5-0 teams in a bye week. And our Eagles will be coming off a bye week hosting the Brownies. Brownies say they're going to stick with Deshaun. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, man. There'll be a brand new low if we lose to Cleveland at home.
Man.
Just hope it doesn't happen. I don't know where the possessed Jalen Carter was during the Tampa Bay game. He was apparently a man possessed New Orleans, and that's because they put up all those points, and we shut these guys down. Well, what about Tampa Bay? What about these other teams? Oh man, I'm worried we're not even going to make the playoffs with Washington in command.
Well, you know what?
Now, so.
We're supposed to be facing the AFC East, which has some, the Patriots and some weak teams or whatever, and that's not looking that great right now. And so it's the East is just not it's looking like the least right now. So I'm also I'm interested in the 49ers and Seahawks, both team coming off disappointing losses. I mean, short week, obviously, for both teams. Seahawks are getting 3 at home. I know you have them plus 10 already, but
Love
what
that.
are your thoughts on the 49ers laying 3 in Seattle?
They should, they should be a lot better than they are. And I just
Yeah.
think these odds makers are like, this is going to fall into place sooner than later. They don't quite believe yet that the wheels have fell off in San Francisco. And then, Seattle, it's just who have they played, right? They did great against Detroit, but they did not
Yeah.
look like the same team playing the Giants.
They did beat the mighty Broncos in week 1 or week 2, I believe, or week 1. Sorry, week
Yeah.
1.
I hope Malik Neighbors is playing because I took the Giants plus 10.5 in a super teaser.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident he'll be playing. Not sure about Singletary, but yeah, a few guys that are banged up. Interesting to see if they'll be back. AJ Brown, Devontae Smith. We don't know if they're going to be playing. I think Devontae had concussion, just like Malik Neighbors did. Few other knick-knack injuries. I think Josh Allen bumped his head as well. I don't know if he caught that late in the game
Yeah, I
against
think
the
so.
Texans. Yeah, I mean, I think he just went into a tent and came out. He was okay, but yeah, just looking at the board here, there's still no line for the Steelers. There's a line, but some books don't have it. Steelers and the Raiders. I think they're wondering if who's going to be playing for the Raiders. I don't think Devontae's going to play anymore, but who knows? And I think the Steelers have an injury or two as well. And Cowboys, we don't know if Micah Parsons is going to play. Right?
Okay.
I mean, that's
Well, it seemed like they did. They did not so bad without him
they
there.
did well against Pittsburgh, but I mean,
Charles
Detroit's a
next
different
week.
beast, as we know, and the over under in
Oh,
that game is it's 52. The over under for that game.
I think they're going to at least be able to score a few points if the same defense shows up that lets Seattle just score at will. Maybe not as many, but I see Dallas at least getting 21. And, if they give up more than if they give up 28, so be it. They lose. I don't see them losing by double digits.
Yeah, I mean, Philly's coming off the bye. Detroit's also coming off the bye, so they're very well rested, obviously well prepared. So I was surprised that Detroit was laying 3 in Dallas, and then now it's moved up to 3.5. So I'm for some reason I'm leaning Detroit, but I don't like laying more than 3 on the road. So
Yeah.
what are your thoughts? Do you think it's Micah Parsons thing? Do you think bookies thinking he's not going to play? And
I think it's just the bye week and the amazing offensive performance they had in Seattle. And so the odds makers are going, we love Detroit. But
okay, fair enough. This game's not as glamorous, but I wanted to get your thoughts on the London game, or back-to-back, Tottenham, as they call it. The Bears 3-2 hosting the 1-4 Jaguars. Bears laying 2.5. Ironically, the same spread the Vikings and Jets had in Tottenham. Is that just an easy 2.5 take the Bears?
Too many variables. Has Caleb ever been overseas like that?
I don't know, honestly. I doubt it.
Jacksonville won their first game. Over
we
the
know
mighty.
that's kind of like their second home, right? They play there every year, don't they?
And they get beat up there too.
Well, because everyone thinks it's kind of like their pseudo home because that's all they talk about. It's like, oh, Jacksonville plays here every year, and their owner, he's got a home here, and blah blah blah. And it's like,
You should be used to it by
right,
now.
so yeah, exactly. So yeah, I was a little surprised. I thought Detroit would not Detroit, Chicago would be at least -3. So that week 6 line surprised me. Um, what are your thoughts on the Cardinals Packers? It's -5 for the Packers. Both teams coming off wins last week. Obviously, Cardinals big upset.
I love the Cardinals plus 12 in a teaser, as you
Oh,
know.
you and any
Um,
double digit spread out you love. Okay, I know that. You love your double digits.
but no, there's
You
just
like
too much talent on that side. I think Jonathan Gannon's finally getting the defense going,
yeah,
and yeah, I think they're going to put at least 3 scores.
right.
So
I mean, I thought the spread was a little high, but yeah,
let's
that's an
see what
interesting one.
Green Bay team shows up, right? If maybe they'll shut Kyler Murray down. I don't know, but they
Yeah,
are coming off an emotional high of a comeback win against San Francisco, so they could be petered out and lose like they did to Detroit. They didn't look like the same team that game.
yeah, they
Anyways, I still like
never.
them double digits plus the
Wow.
double digits.
Well, I mean, anything over 10 and a half, 10 and a half, 11 and a half, you're laughing. I mean, 9 times out of 10, you're going to cash that. So good
That's the
job there. What about the Chargers, 3 points favorites over the Broncos? I was a little surprised that they're that big. I thought they would be maybe 1 or 1.5, maybe,
All coming
maybe
off a
10%.
bye.
Right. Bye week. Yep.
Divisional. Um,
Right.
the formula is supposed to be the home team is -3 before any of the calculations. So I don't really
Usually.
believe Chargers -6 when
Yeah.
you kind of
Yeah. Chargers would be
all
-9 at home if you flip that. So
yeah
that's
yeah
quite harsh.
exactly.
That's quite harsh. Maybe they
So
expect Harbaugh to just have a crazy game plan and shut down Bo Nix.
no,
You know.
at least like Denver's defense to keep
Mhm.
it close.
Oh yeah, I
So
mean it's a divisional game with their defense at home. I mean the over under is 36, right?
yeah, I got
So
Denver plus 9.5 and plus 10. So.
I don't have them in that high. I have them plus 8.5. So I'm gonna just have to roll with that. But I don't like the fact that the spread's gone up to 3, a key number there, which isn't a good sign for Denver. But
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see. It's still early in the week. Steelers only favored by 3 over the Raiders. I think the Raiders are still debating who's starting at quarterback. I mean, this should be a home game for the Paul Steelers, right? In Las Vegas,
Why not? Steelers
right?
fans everywhere.
Yeah, that just seems a little too easy, but we shall see. Falcons are up to -6 against the lowly Panthers. Obviously, a divisional game. As we spoke about before, Atlanta seems to play these close, grind them out games. And yeah, I mean, Panthers, another just disappointing game. I might think I'm kind of leaning to taking the points with the lowly Panthers, but I'm not
Divisional
in love with
game,
it.
they
Yeah,
even though
at
they're
home, awesome
new
embarrassment.
teams, they do know
Yeah,
each other, and it's
yes,
one of those things that just keeps happening over and over. So
yeah,
closer divisional games.
yeah. And then, what about your thoughts on Cincy -3.5 in New York on Sunday night? Um, my initial thoughts would be, I think the Giants are going to get some love, don't you think? Getting 3.5.
Yeah, I really hope Neighbors is playing though, because
Yeah,
I got Giants 10.5 plus 10.5, but that's
you you and your 10.5s. Yes, yes. I know you love it. I know you love it.
that
But
even makes me
yeah,
nervous though. They
yeah.
don't
I mean,
have
right. I mean, I look for Cincy to show up in this game, and I mean, I'm not going to say it's a must win because they're 1-4, but I read a stat saying there's a 4% chance for teams that are 1-4 to make the playoffs. So by my calculations, that's less than 120. So, they're going to have to start. I mean, they have a pretty weak schedule coming up now, Cincy. They had a pretty tough schedule for the first 5 games there. So minus the first one. So, they'll be in New York and the bright lights. And I'm pretty sure Malik will be playing for that game on Sunday night, national television game. Right. And then here's another divisional game. Monday night, Bills coming off 2 losses, Jets coming off 2 losses. Bills are laying 2.5. I know you're usually high on the Bills, but what's going on with these Bills?
There's these 2 teams. You look, okay, there's only these 2 teams. Like, they're both on a losing streak. And now it's inevitable. Someone's going to end their losing streak and someone's going to continue it. And I just have to say that it's going to be the Jets that continues their losing streak. I don't think the Bills are going to keep on this. They're going to establish again the dominance in the division and handle the Jets, maybe only by a field goal, but they got to win.
Jets are going to keep because Jets will somehow be tied for the lead. Who would have thought that after 3 weeks that the Jets would be? I mean, anything can happen. It's football. I mean, it's only 5-6 weeks, right? But
it's the weakest division in football. Who thought?
At the beginning of the year, everyone's like saying, "Oh, Miami Jets are going to win 10 games and Buffalo's going to win 12." I mean, I think all 3 of those teams would be lucky to win 11 or
9 and 8.
Do it, but Miami almost has a write-off season.
9 and 8 wins that division.
No, I think Buffalo gets to 10 wins 100%, but Jets, I mean, they're going to struggle to get to 9 wins. I mean, and every game they have is a primetime game, so it's more spotlight, more pressure, more interviews, more New York, right? So, yeah. But anyways, let's finish up this episode of the Monday Night Football recap and a little bonus Week 6 opening lines reaction. So, let's sign off and catch everyone for our Wednesday episode of Week 6. Is it Week 6 coming up for Week 6 best bets? That's crazy. 1/3 of the year almost done, right? So we'll see you next time, everybody, on S&S Pigskin Picks. Later.